In a small Kentucky town, a towering coal plant was reduced to rubble, not by decline, but by progress. In its place, a sprawling AI data center. As generative AI takes over, the US is racing to build the brainpower to support it. But what's really driving this infrastructure revolution? Not long ago, the biggest power hogs in the country were steel mills, aluminium smelters, and oil refineries. And what about today? It's the machines behind ChatGPT, deepfakes, and AI-generated music. Generative AI isn't just another software upgrade. It's a full-blown energy monster. Models like GPT-4 require massive computational power, especially during training, where trillions of parameters are adjusted over weeks or months. Even after deployment, running real-time responses for millions of users isn't light work. These models depend on high-performance hardware like GPUs and TPUs, specialized chips designed for the relentless matrix math that fuels AI. And these chips don't run on magic. They require enormous electricity and generate intense heat, demanding sprawling facilities packed with advanced cooling systems. One state-of-the-art AI data center can consume as much power as a small city. That's why cloud giants like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta are in a frenzied race to build next-gen AI data centers. Traditional facilities just don't cut it anymore. They're too slow, too hot, and too underpowered. To stay competitive, these companies are constructing AI-specific infrastructure, optimized for machine learning workflows, including dense racks of GPUs, direct fiber links, and ultra-efficient cooling. But these facilities need space, power, and proximity to renewable energy. Cue an unexpected player, which is a former coal plant site. One striking example comes from Paradise, Kentucky, where a massive coal plant that once powered aluminium factories and households was recently imploded to make way for an AI data center. According to the Wall Street Journal, the site's access to high-voltage transmission lines made it an ideal location. The irony isn't lost. The very infrastructure built to feed coal is now being repurposed to feed AI. This is more than a tech trend. It's a tectonic shift. In the same way railroads once dictated where cities popped up, AI's hunger for power is redrawing the map, choosing its new homes not by coastline or capital, but by where the grid can handle the heat. When you think of cutting-edge AI infrastructure, you probably picture sleek buildings in Silicon Valley or Seattle, not cornfields in Iowa or former coal towns in Kentucky. But that's exactly where the next generation of AI data centers is setting up shop. And it's not just by chance, it's by design. Generative AI is hungry, not just for data and chips, but for space, electricity, and water. And America's rural heartland is serving it all up on a silver platter. Start with land. Coastal real estate is pricey and crowded. In contrast, rural states like Iowa, Nebraska, and Ohio offer wide open spaces at a fraction of the cost. These states can host sprawling campuses, sometimes covering hundreds of acres, with plenty of buffer from neighboring properties. Important when you're operating around-the-clock server farms that hum like jet engines. Then there's power. AI data centers consume megawatts like they're going out of style. Rural areas often sit on legacy transmission infrastructure built for factories or coal plants, like in Kentucky, where Paradise's old power plant is now making way for a high-tech upgrade. Add to that access to cheap wind and solar, and you've got a grid-ready, renewable-rich environment tailor-made for AI operations. Meta, for instance, is building a data center campus in Sarpy County, Nebraska, tapping into both low electricity prices and a robust wind energy network. Microsoft is expanding in West Des Moines, Iowa, the city that's quietly become a magnet for tech-rich infrastructure due to its reliable grid, business-friendly regulations, and open land. So what does all this mean for the locals? On one hand, there are jobs and tax revenue. Data centers require engineers, construction crews, security teams, and ongoing operations staff. These aren't just short-term gigs. They can sustain small towns that have struggled with economic decline since manufacturing left. On the other hand, new pressures. Data centers are notorious water guzzlers, using millions of gallons to cool servers during peak seasons. Residents in places like Mesa, Arizona, and Dallas, Oregon have already raised red flags over shrinking water tables. Now, towns in Ohio and Nebraska are bracing for similar battles. There are power concerns too. While rural grids can handle high loads, adding one or more hyperscale data centers can strain transmission lines meant for local use, leading to outages or the need for expensive upgrades, costs that may be passed on to residents. As one WSJ article notes, there's a growing tension between AI optimism and rural realism. For every local leader thrilled about a billion-dollar investment, there's a farmer worried about losing water rights or a homeowner facing rising electricity bills. Still, with billions pouring in and AI demand only climbing, the heartland's digital transformation seems inevitable. The question now isn't just where AI will live, it's how its new neighbors will live with it. AI is often painted as the sleek digital future, but behind every slick chatbot or image generator lies a beast that runs on massive amounts of electricity and water. And as AI data centers spread across the country, so do the environmental trade-offs, many of which are starting to raise eyebrows. And what do you think about energy? Generative AI isn't just power-hungry, it's a glutton. Training large models like GPT or running image generators requires thousands of GPUs running 24/7. These workloads are so intense that they make regular cloud computing look quaint. Each hyperscale data center can consume as much power as a small city, sometimes exceeding 100 megawatts. So here's the twist. Many of these data centers are being built on the bones of old coal plants, like the Paradise Fossil plant in Kentucky. Sounds poetic, right? Dirty energy out, clean tech in. Not so fast. While the new facilities may not belch smoke, their electricity demands are staggering, often met by the same fossil-fueled grids they're supposed to replace. It's a classic case of green optics versus brown reality. A coal plant implosion might symbolize progress, but if the AI center that replaces it runs on gas-fired power or forces utilities to buy more non-renewables, are we really moving forward? Then comes water, the silent cost. AI data centers generate intense heat, and while some use air cooling, many still rely on evaporative cooling systems that can consume millions of gallons of water per day, especially in the summer. In water-stressed areas like Arizona, Utah, or parts of the Midwest, this has triggered local protests and policy reviews. Cities are being asked to choose: support a flashy AI project that promises jobs and tech glory, or protect their dwindling aquifers and rivers. It's not an easy decision. And then there's the money. Infrastructure upgrades, think new transmission lines, substations, water pipelines, don't come cheap. While tech giants do foot some of the bill, there's often a hidden cost to taxpayers. Local governments may offer tax breaks or subsidies to lure these projects in, leaving residents to shoulder long-term environmental and financial risks. As these deals pile up, critics are asking, who's really benefiting? Is it the billion-dollar companies optimizing their AI models, or is it the rural towns absorbing the environmental cost? For all its promise, AI Rise isn't weightless. It's leaving behind a heavy footprint of trade-offs, ones that communities will be reckoning with long after the servers are installed. If the environmental cost is high, the investment poured into AI data centers is even higher. Despite the trade-offs, tech giants aren't slowing down. In fact, they're just getting started. Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and Google are spearheading a race to map the AI-powered future, and they're building it, quite literally, from the ground up. Across the US, mega projects are popping up with price tags north of $1 billion per site. These aren't just data centers, they're sprawling campuses designed to serve AI for decades, with long-term blueprints stretching well into 2030 and beyond. Microsoft's recently announced $3.3 billion investment in Wisconsin, just one piece of a much larger puzzle. To keep these projects humming, tech companies are forming deep partnerships with utility providers and local construction giants. Microsoft is working with power companies to ensure grid stability. Meta is building advanced cooling systems in coordination with local engineers. Amazon is lobbying for faster permitting and cleaner energy sources. The AI infrastructure boom is now its own industrial complex. But it's not just big tech at the wheel. Behind the scenes, private equity firms and infrastructure investors are quietly cashing in. Companies like Digital Realty, which owns and operates data centers globally, and conglomerates like Blackstone are heavily involved, funding, managing, and scaling the physical backbone of the AI era. Their names rarely make headlines, but their fingerprints are all over the power deals, land acquisitions, and facility rollouts. In short, AI isn't just a software revolution, it's a construction boom, a land rush, and a reshaping of America's physical and digital landscapes. As the world marvels at AI's capabilities, a much bigger transformation is unfolding behind the screen, one built on server racks, steel, and billions of dollars. In many ways, the rise of AI data centers mirrors the great industrial surges of the past. Just as factories, oil fields, and railroads once redefined America's economy and landscapes, today's server farms and fiber lines are laying the foundation for a new kind of power, measured in teraflops, not tons. We're witnessing the birth of a digital industrial complex, one fueled not by steam or coal, but by data, electricity, and silicon. Small towns are becoming tech hubs. Old smokestack sites are turning into next-gen computing fortresses. And beneath it all, the same questions echo from history. Who profits? Who pays? Who's left out? So, as AI reshapes everything from work to warfare, we're left to wonder, are we truly building a smarter future or just trading smokestacks for silicon? And that's all about it. If you liked this video, please give a thumbs up, and if you would like more updates, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so you don't miss any videos and get notifications on time. Don't hesitate to give suggestions for our videos in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one.